it is time for us to discuss the man who is very nice and very evil. Okay. So that is, I'm going to go ahead and take the L. That was my bad. We did skip over the box. But to be fair, I didn't really give a fuck about the box before the chamber. In fact, I forgot about the box until the chamber. Because they would do like small little things involving the box through the weeks leading up to Elimination Chamber. But I never really got engulfed in it. And right off the top, we already know now who it is. But I'll be honest, leading up to the Elimination Chamber, I didn't really have a guess as to who it would be or what.
Which is odd because you normally do.
Yeah, I didn't even think, to be honest with you, that it was going to be a who. I wasn't sure what was going on with the box. But I will start this conversation off by telling you, I know good goddamn well who it wasn't going to be. So let's start with that.
Please don't tell me they thought it was Jericho coming out of the box.
Because I'm getting pissed and I'm getting fucking upset with the way that this shit keeps going down. Anytime there is a breath on Raw or SmackDown, they go, here comes Jericho. Let me tell you something. I've watched wrestling my whole life. Nobody does debuts or returns the way that Chris Jericho does it. He's in a class all by himself. And if you think that after all this time, Jericho was going to make his return to the WWE out of a fucking box,
well, as the break the walls down,
as the kids would say, you don't know ball, my friend. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you are listening to this right now and you have a friend that legitimately thought, here comes Chris Jericho, that is a red flag, and you shouldn't be around that person anymore. And you should keep your friends and family away from them too, because they're dangerous and gullible people. I don't know why anybody thought it was going to be Chris Jericho, because that is ridiculous. Chris Jericho was not coming out of a fucking box. It just wasn't gonna happen. So let's get rid of that. But I legitimately did not know who it was gonna be until we get to the pay-per-view, and I'll give you the setup. They got the box on the stage, and they spotlight the box. For whatever reason, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are at the side of the box, 2 crowbars. They pry the bitch open and then bounce. That's it. There's no look to see what's in the box. What could it be? What's happening?
They saw it was a casket and just kind of brushed it off and walked away. They're fuck this.
It said coffin. I'm good. I'm straight. Yeah, I got shit to do. Good. I'm out. So pause right here. You see the coffin. They open up the box. They see a coffin. And I understand. Oh, the frustration. I understand that coffins, death, vampirism, all this stuff, that's all Danhausen stuff. I get it. If he would have did it TNA, I would have gotten it. AEW, I would have gotten it. Ring of Honor, I would have gotten it. New Japan, I would have gotten it. But it just so happens in WWE. I don't know if you guys know this. I might be putting you on game here, so listen up. There is another individual in WWE pretty synonymous with caskets and coffins. I don't know if you guys know the name or if you've seen the guy. His name is The Undertaker. So you open up a box and you have a fucking coffin and the place goes banana. Because I didn't believe we'd see it.
That wasn't Taker's style though. And the box was a little too small for
First
Taker,
of all,
you know what I mean?
He has come out of a box before.
The casket, I mean, my apologies. The casket wasn't really his style.
I actually didn't, in the moment, I actually said out loud, this can't be Taker. I mean, I get it, coffin, caskets, all that. I was like, because Taker's not doing the dead man gimmick. He's back to the American Badass.
Came out American Badass not too long ago.
Yeah. So I'm like, so what the fuck? Then the lights go off, which in my opinion was a fucking mistake because we see a box, but then we see the casket. Then they turn the lights off. And I guess they assumed that the lights off in the house, it's dark, but the backstage lights are still fucking on.
Yeah.
So all you see is the curtain behind the thing moving around, feet shuffling.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then the music turns on, the lights come on, and here come the ladies through the casket. And based on the makeup and the outfits,
you knew exactly what it was.
It's kind of a dead giveaway now because they're wearing the Danhausen makeup. But I said, Danhausen? And out comes Danhausen. What the? And
fucking amazing.
And it was a moment for myself. I had to just
take it in, had to stop yourself from reacting harshly.
I said, let it rock. Let's see what happens here. Because obviously, based on this, first of all, the box was teased for weeks.
And they've been pushing
they dropped this like right in the middle of the show, spotlight. There's effort being put into this. The women are coming out. They're obviously professional dancers. They've got the Danhausen face paint and the fucking everything going on. And then he comes out full regalia with the new music that's like the 70s Munsters music that just keeps saying his name over and over and over again.
Yep.
And he's walking down the aisle, and the pyro is misfiring. It doesn't even look like pyro. Is it fucking amazing? And then they go into the ring, complete professional look. They get in the
Wasn't
ring.
it like a fucking defective sprinkler? Like it didn't even go over his head.
It was like a misfire. And then they get in the ring, they hit the big pose, and then you see at the top of the screen, he goes, again, like one last like effort of like pyro, and then the lights go out, and then the lights come back on, and the fucking ring is empty, and the fucking place lost their fucking shit, and just booed. Now here's the deal.
They booed?
They booed. But to be fair, I'm watching this on the app, and I know that they can control the audio. I had a buddy of mine who happened to fucking be there, and he told me that Danhausen himself did get a pop. There wasn't really a lot of boos until the end when they turned the lights off and they disappeared. So I said, what was the vibe in the building? Did they boo because that was it? He showed up
there and gone, yeah.
And then the lights went off, and then he just fucking disappeared. Or did you get the vibe they booed because they thought it was going to be somebody else? And he told me he felt, based on conversations he had with people and what he overheard from other people, was that they were pissed that that's just all he did. Where he came out, did the whole thing, and then the lights turned off, and then he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's crazy because on TV they protected it well. They did shots of the crowd and stuff, and when they came back, the ring was empty. He goes, but in the building, the emergency lights are on, so we still see the ring. So the lights turn off, and then everybody scrambles to get under the ring. and it just looks weird if you're inside the house. But the answer to the question, what's in the box, the Brad Pitt, what's in the box? What's in the box? It was Danhausen. Now, Dave, how familiar are you with his work, and how excited about him being in WWE?
I actually remember watching him when he was first doing his thing in AEW, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was a fantastic character, but obviously that wasn't the place for it. Like, he definitely stood out like a sore thumb. But after that, I really didn't follow him because I didn't watch AEW. But I did see like some of his social media stuff. I have him on social media. So when he was doing a lot of his postings, I would see that too. He has like a community and everyone like plays into it and everything like that. So I know of him. And my thought always was, man, this looks like a great character for the WWE. This is not going to fit anywhere else, right? At least with the idea of him doing this and then putting a machine behind him with the right stuff, this could be good. So when I saw him come out, I'm like, okay, he's here now. Let's see what happens. So yes, I know a little bit of him. I didn't follow his whole career, but I do love what he's doing. I love that it's an original character. I love the mannerisms. I love that he commits to it. I'm like, man, I would love to see this on the big stage and see what they do with this, because where he's at now ain't the place for it.
Fair enough. So the buddy of mine who hit me up when he said, man, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about Danhausen, I left one piece out that he asked me, and I immediately thought of you because I think you've mentioned this in the past. He said to me, man, if you hate Iguana, you must fucking hate Danhausen. And here's my clarification to that.
What? But wait, is he saying that just strictly off the fact that he's a gimmick? Like, does he assume that you hate gimmicks?
I think he assumes that I hate comedy gimmicks, which is why I want to bring this back up to clarify that that's not the case. For the record, and it was only a rumor, but at one point there was people actually convinced that I myself played a comedy character, and that's not the truth. We've already debunked that. That's a cousin of mine. It was never me. Okay, the blue guy in the Bronx was not me. He's a family friend. Everybody in my family knows the guy. Guy from Alaska. All right, he's extended family. It was never me. I keep trying to tell people that, but similar builds, similar likes. We both have a thing for Latinos. It's a long story, but we were never the same person. But I think people get the idea that I hate comedy gimmicks because, like, for instance, right? I was kind of hot and cold on Santino. Everyone knows how I feel about R-Truth. He's hilarious, but it's the way that he's used, right? So the thing that I have about Iguana, and I could have sworn I said this because it's happened a few times, but I'll clarify now. Iguana as a character, I have no problem. He's a comedy character. He fits in the comedic role. My issue with the character isn't him. It's the fucking stuffed animal, because people take bumps.
That's the comedy, though.
You could be comedy without being. You could be funny without being stupid. That's stupid. You shouldn't be taking.
Also funny.
You shouldn't be. You can't be funny without the stuffed animal.
Maybe
you're not funny.
Can you? But you can be still.
And here's where I think you can be. This is why this is my transition into Danhausen. He said, "Oh, if you hate Iguana, you're gonna fucking hate Danhausen." Here's the thing: when I first saw Danhausen, my first experience with him was on the Indies, and I kind of get it because the Indies is like the wastelands, right? Anything kind of goes on the independents. I understand that. Goofy shit's our us. Everything on the independents is fucking goofy. I understand. But he got picked up by Ring of Honor first, the original Ring of Honor, not the current Tony Khan one. And I grew to hate him because that's Ring of Honor. Now, I know by the time he got there, it had got into a new regime. It was a different place. But my heart, my mind always looked at Ring of Honor like the real professional wrestling fucking organization. And to have this guy being a goof, to me, was just, I hated it. When he got signed by AEW, I extra hated it because you keep telling me you're supposed to be sports-based entertainment. You're not doing it, but you're supposed to be a little bit more serious.
Now you're entertaining this buffoonery.
Not just buffoonery, but they hire the guy, and he does a few things, which he couldn't do a lot. I don't know if you saw the interview or not, but he did one recently where he spoke on that. He broke his leg on the Indies, and when they signed him while his leg was still broken. So he just kept debuting and doing the curse thing over and over and over until he could get healthy, and then he had his fair share of matches. But he got derailed in AEW not because he wasn't clicking and he wasn't working, but because he was friends with Punk. And when Punk left AEW, all of those friendships in AEW got them sunk. So he's been home for a year and a half, almost 2 years, doing nothing, getting paid by AEW. So he hasn't done a whole lot. I didn't like the signing when it happened because I just knew they weren't going to use him the correct way. they were going to try to implement him as a wrestler, which is not what he does, because they try to make everybody a wrestler when they're not. That's not his forte. He can, but it's not what he does.
Yeah, why do I remember that? Like he can actually go?
He can perform. He's just really, really small. Like if he wrestled Rey Mysterio,
He's just not known for his wrestling, basically.
Yeah, exactly. He's not known for his wrestling. If he wrestled Rey Mysterio, Rey would be the heavy. Like Rey would have to base for him. It's amazing how that works. But he's a small thing. So when he made his debut,
don't call that man a small thing. That's crazy.
He's a little guy. He's a little guy.
Jesus Christ!
When he went to WWE and they made the debut, I said, "Let's hold off. Let's see what happens." Blah blah. So before Raw and SmackDown, before I saw anything, when I had to make peace with the idea that he's now a WWE superstar, not NXT, by the way, straight to the main roster, I thought to myself, I like this. This fits.
What clicked?
Because of where he is. Because if there was ever a place to not even worry about the wrestling, like if he has a match, I'd be shocked. To just have him on the show as a fucking goofball and to do the cursed and all that other stuff and sell the merch and the look. If there was ever a place on earth where I would just go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's here. It's the place that doesn't consider themselves professional wrestling. They are a world wrestling entertainment. That's what this guy is. If you put him in that category, if you promote him and you push him and you promote him as that, as a comedic, family-friendly goofball guy that might at best be able to be used to progress storylines, he could be used as fodder in certain situations. If used correctly, his comedic talents, which I do give him, he's a hilarious dude already with the Danhausens and the, it's like, why is this wet? I was in the toilet. It's like, okay, we're gonna put that down. Look, listen, the way that they're treating him off the bat is already proof to me that this is a good fit. Because initially they're not really taking him seriously, but he's already cursed Dom. And it worked out well, and now he's cursing the Miz. So we'll see how that backfires on him. Despite it being goofy, they're taking it seriously in the sense of how they're using it. So this setting is what makes me like the signing more than the signing. I don't really look at him and go, yeah, that's a game-changing talent. But I do look at him in the sense of business and what he can offer the company, just being the goofball Danhausen, and that's all I really want. That's why I didn't like him in Ring of Honor, because in Ring of Honor you have to wrestle, and that's not his thing. He can wrestle. He's not a great wrestler, especially against larger opponents, which everybody's a larger opponent. AEW was the same way. I knew they were going to maneuver him into gimmicks and this match and that match. No, WWE is not going to put him in a position. I have the idea in my head that at some point, if he wins the title, it'll almost be by accident, and he won't even be aware of it until he's holding the belt. Like something goofy like that. It was like, the Intercontinental Championhausen, or whatever the fuck he's gonna come up with, to just be fucking hilarious and entertaining. He did this thing the other day with they had him out there during a commercial, throwing T-shirts out to the audience and trying to get them to go to the shop website and all this stuff, but in his own little like Danhausen way, which is another reason why I like this, because his verbiage as his character is so good that this is one of those characters where they can't write for Danhausen.
No,
Danhausen is going to have to sit with the writing team and work that out with them, so that he sounds,
which is really
like
cool
Danhausen.
Because there's not a lot of people with that level of creative freedom. There's no way they're writing for him. I mean, there's a possibility of them giving him some type of guy, like, this is where we want to go.
Yeah, right.
Like,
but he has to be in the room.
Right.
Going, okay, this is how I think we should get there.
And I'll tell you what, man, for him being on the big stage, he's like, his talking level, his talking bar is max, dude. This guy is not stuttering. Like and his shit is quick-witted too. Like he's on not only some of those things he's been saying it's reacted to them saying something else, and has been shout out to the talent because they've been bouncing with him. It's been really good how they've been kind of playing with him, but like it's been great. The chemistry right now, just I don't know if it's him that's bringing that to the table or it's everyone else just kind of having fun with it, but the chemistry feels really good so far.
I love the new aspect of it because they didn't do this in the other companies, and it makes sense to do this here because it adds to the element of the gimmick. He'll say the line with the curse. You guys are cursed. And then they'll look at each other and go, this guy's insane. Look, listen. Where'd he go? It's like he just disappears. He's done it like 3 times now. And I'm like, oh, see, that's what I'm saying. They're able to use the comedy and it doesn't kill off the show. His specific segment has, it's almost like that segment gives the audience permission to just dial out for a second and just laugh. Just for this one moment, just forget the other wrestling show and just enjoy this guy because he's just comedically, he's just there.
Yeah.
Gets it.
He's good. He's good, man. He's doing fantastic. I really love what he's doing right now. I hesitated to say this, but I'm going to say it. Because uncensored, AJ's uncensored mind is not a place if not for negativity.
Okay.
So,
all right.
My only fear is the curse thing. That's my only thing. I'm a little worried. I just hope they're very delicate with it and they don't abuse it. I actually hope, for me, that they have fun with it for a little while and then just
to get it over and then pull it back.
Let it quietly let it go. Because it is cool to see that he did that to Dom. It's cool to see that he did that to Americano, which I finished that Raw. I don't even really know if they explained what happened there. But
he didn't win the title match.
Huh?
He didn't win the title match. That was the curse. He lost.
No, but it wasn't him.
It wasn't him? What do you mean?
It wasn't the original Americano. It was the other guy that came out. So we don't really even know what I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but like he cursed the original Americano, and then the other Americano came out as if like nothing was happening. You know what I mean? Like maybe. Yeah. So I'm assuming the next time they come back on the screen, the original Americano is gonna speak as if he was screwed, like he lost the match, he wants a rematch. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to play it like it wasn't him, but it was him. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's what they're gonna do with it. But we'll see. But see, even in that, like that's fun. But I want them to be very careful with the cursing because if you start leaning into it too hard because it's funny right now, not only are you kind of spoiling things because people are just gonna catch on to it. That's my only fear. I just want them to be very careful with it. Everything else, solid. Like, and it doesn't all of it's good. I love it.
It doesn't look like it's going to take long for the cursing to get over because, like I just told you, the T-shirt thing.
It's over.
That they did on the commercial. He told everybody, he goes, sell out the shirts, go to WWEshop.com, and if you don't, and he picked the microphone up, and the whole building said cursed. So it's not going to take long for this thing.
No, he's out of here.
He's off to the races.
He has a fan base. They just exposed him to more people.
I was just gonna say, he does have a built-in fan base, but it's not in the next month or so. That fan base you're talking about is about to fucking explode.
No, yes, but he has a core, dude. There are people with tattoos of his face on his body. I've seen it. I told you I'm on his Facebook. I see people posting shit all the time. Every Halloween, somebody's Danhausen. Like he has a core fan base. Whatever you call big, that's fine. He's about to, if he keeps it up, he is about to explode. And I'm happy for him because they fucked him over at the other place, disrespectfully. So I'm just glad he's getting his he's getting his comeuppance.
He was friends. There's a rumor that the reason why he was fucked around was because he was friends with Punk, and I'll make the argument that friendship is what got him here. So it might have hurt in one area, but it didn't hurt in the other. So it is what it is. Yep. WWE's game.
You just gave him a year to perfect his craft because I know he wasn't sitting on the couch doing nothing.
No, exactly.
And I can see the work. The man's
Yeah.
talking like he's never stopped. On the biggest stage next to the biggest people, and the chemistry, it's so good.
1 month, by the way, or 2 technically, right? April, before the biggest show of the year, and you know he's doing something in Vegas.
Yeah, he's doing something goofy.
He's doing something goofy in Vegas.
He's doing something.
Just gotta
goofy.
figure
Good
out
for
what
him, man. Shout out to Danhausen, dude. He's working. I love it.